A father's heartbreak, the rebellion of Absalom. Did you know that the Bible tells the story of a king who faced a devastating betrayal from his own son? King David, known for his heart after God, experienced a depth of pain that few could imagine when his son, Absalom, launched a rebellion against him. Absalom, a charismatic and ambitious young man, plotted to steal the throne from his father. He used his charm and cunning to win over the hearts of the people, turning them against David. The conflict escalated, culminating in a fierce battle that pitted father against son. David, heartbroken and betrayed, was forced to flee Jerusalem as Absalom's forces seized control. Imagine the anguish of a father who had to confront his own flesh and blood in a battle for his kingdom. The story of David and Absalom is a poignant reminder that even those closest to us can hurt us deeply. It highlights the universal themes of betrayal, ambition, and the enduring power of a parent's love. The seeds of discord. Why did Absalom turn against David? To understand Absalom's rebellion, we must delve into the events that sowed the seeds of discord within David's family. Absalom's actions were not isolated incidents, but rather the culmination of a series of tragedies and transgressions that plagued David's reign. It all began with David's sin with Bathsheba, the wife of Uriah the Hittite. David, consumed by lust, committed adultery with Bathsheba and then orchestrated Uriah's death in battle to cover up his sin. This act had far-reaching consequences, fracturing David's family and inviting chaos into his kingdom. Adding fuel to the fire, Amnon, David's eldest son, raped his half-sister Tamar, Absalom's full sister. This heinous act filled Absalom with rage and a thirst for vengeance. He waited patiently for 2 years before taking justice into his own hands, murdering Amnon in cold blood. These events created a toxic environment of resentment and bitterness within David's family, setting the stage for Absalom's rebellion. The consequences of David's sin reverberated through his household, leaving a trail of brokenness and pain. David's wives and children, a family torn apart. The Bible tells us that David had many wives and concubines, which led to a large and complex family structure. Among his wives were Michal, Abigail, Ahinoam, Maacah, Haggith, Abital, and Eglah. Bathsheba, with whom David had sinned, also became his wife after the death of her husband Uriah. This complex family dynamic, coupled with the consequences of David's sins, created an environment ripe for jealousy, rivalry, and conflict. Absalom's rebellion was not simply a political power grab, but also a symptom of a deeply fractured family. While the Bible doesn't provide details about Absalom's sons, it does mention that he had 3 sons and a daughter. Tragically, his sons died young, leaving his lineage cut short. This detail adds another layer of sadness to the story, highlighting the devastating impact of Absalom's choices on his own descendants. David's story serves as a cautionary tale about the importance of family unity and the dangers of allowing sin to fester and poison our relationships. It reminds us that our actions have consequences, not just for ourselves, but for generations to come. Forgiveness and consequences, the legacy of David and Absalom. One of the most poignant aspects of David and Absalom's story is David's unwavering love for his rebellious son. Even as Absalom sought to usurp his throne and take his life, David's heart yearned for his son's well-being. This fatherly love was evident in David's grief when Absalom was killed in battle. Despite the pain Absalom had caused, David's heart was broken. He cried out, "Oh, my son Absalom, my son Absalom. Would God that I had died for thee, O Absalom, my son, my son." While David forgave Absalom, God's law demanded consequences for Absalom's rebellion. God had chosen David and his lineage for a divine purpose, and Absalom's actions threatened to derail God's plan. The story of David and Absalom reminds us that forgiveness does not negate consequences. We can choose to forgive others, just as God forgives us, but we must also be prepared to face the consequences of our actions. The lessons from this biblical account are timeless and relevant. The importance of family unity, the dangers of unchecked ambition, the devastating effects of sin, and the enduring power of a parent's love. Most importantly, it reminds us that God's love and forgiveness are always available, even in the midst of our deepest pain and failures.